A very good day to you. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. It's Friday, February 17th. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run. The full Sullivan County Legislature went on record yesterday opposed to Governor Kathy Hochul's planned ban on gas stoves and other fossil fuel heating equipment. Legislator Nadia Raj said that would require much more discussion and alternative sources of energy. Lawmaker Alan Sorensen believes the shift would do nothing for the environment.
If I thought it was a one-for-one, you put in an electric stove and you're going to have a corresponding reduction in gas emissions, one-to-one, maybe, but the reality is the electric's going to be generated primarily by either coal plants or natural gas plants. So I don't see the corresponding reduction.
Raj said the state and country need to look at climate change as a whole. A forum regarding the public health and safety aspects coming from the decommissioning of the Indian Point nuclear power plants and the handling of its nuclear waste was held yesterday evening. Kathy Nolan, a pediatrician, an Ulster County legislator, and a senior research director for Catskill Mountain Keepers, spoke about the harm, especially to children, which comes from the exposure to possible radiation.
Children are breathing quickly, and they have greater contact with dust and soil because they don't wash their hands as frequently, and often their hands go into their mouths. So there are routes of exposure that are particular to children that we don't see in adults.
Holtec International, which owns Indian Point, is conducting the decommissioning, and the plant wants to discharge 1 million gallons of water into the Hudson River during the plant closure. A proposal to spend $2.5 million to add a 4,000-square-foot addition to the Orange County Sheriff's Office in Goshen was tabled by the county legislature's Oversight Committee on Thursday. New Sheriff Paul Arteta says they need the second-story addition for workspace.
It's to make more office space, which would include investigations division space where they can actually interview people. We have one interview room right now. It's the space is just too small. There's a component of adding the upstairs floor to connect it to the admin with the correctional facility.
Lawmakers want more details about the plans that were developed by the previous sheriff's administration. More news right after this.
Find over 100 retailers allowing you to spend hours shopping safely at the Galleria at Crystal Run. Enjoy the big brands and the diverse selection of family-owned stores all in one location. The Galleria at Crystal Run offers dining options for everyone with Fuji 110 Grill, Allen's Mediterranean Grill, and Peru Cuisine. Discover the Mid-Hudson Valley's premier shopping, dining, and entertainment destination, the Galleria at Crystal Run. For more information, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or visit GalleriaCrystalRun.com.
State Senator James Skoufis is asking Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli to look into what he called a likely violation of state law pertaining to the procurement practice. The lawmaker says he's received complaints from residents of the village of South Blooming Grove about an addition to their water bills.
This is actually a garbage fee that's been tacked onto their water bill for some reason as a result of the village of South Blooming Grove seemingly flaunting state procurement laws and independently contracting with and negotiating with a local garbage company for additional pickup. But the laws are very clear that once you hit a certain threshold, you've got to go out to bid.
Skoufis says this all came down after the village rejected a second weekly garbage pickup through a contract with the town of Blooming Grove because officials said the cost was too high. Robert Doss has been New Windsor Town Police Chief for the last 4 years and has served in the department for a total of 25 years. He retired from the agency with an official walkout salute by fellow officers yesterday. His law enforcement career is not over, though. On Monday, he will assume the position of Deputy Orange County Emergency Services Commissioner for Police Services. New Windsor Supervisor George Myers called Doss truly a professional and thanked him for his many years of guidance. Myers is a retired state trooper. The town board, meanwhile, promoted Daniel Valeri to the position of chief, with Myers saying the town board feels he's the person to lead the department going forward. A town of Delaware man was arrested yesterday after he allegedly pointed a pistol at his neighbors and a building inspector. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a man with a gun in the vicinity of 30 Miller Road in Canosa Lake at about 3:15 in the afternoon. The suspect, 31-year-old Christopher Joao Velez, had left a residence at the location dressed in black clothes and brandishing a weapon. Sheriff's deputies and state troopers responded to the scene, but the suspect fled prior to their arrival. A short time later, a trooper stopped a vehicle occupied by the suspect fitting the description. In Jeffersonville, he was taken into custody and the weapon was recovered. The firearm, which resembled a Sig Sauer MPX machine gun, was in fact a BB gun. Velez was charged with a misdemeanor of menacing, issued an appearance ticket, and released pending a future court appearance. I'm Hank Gross, MidHudsonNews.com. The news today brought to you by the Galleria at Crystal Run.